Effort, quality, and dreams. The desire to do things correctly. These are the key elements from our past, present, and future. Sport footwear, textiles, and sport accessories is where Joma has developed its activity over the past 40 years, becoming a top-selling leader in football footwear, the most influential sport today. For all the above, Joma is currently one of the most influential companies in the sportswear industry all over the world. Joma's 7 official branches and its distribution through more than 70 countries is the best example of Joma's strategy on the international market. Research has been a constant since Joma's beginnings. Elite athletes need to have the best sports gear, and this has always been the main core of the company. Because Joma has always pursued the best for its athletes, all sportwear and footwear from Joma Sport has always been at the highest level of quality. However, thanks to Joma's open-minded designers and developers, its garments and footwear have always been innovative and avant-garde. As a consequence of all Joma's research and development, Joma's products have helped many athletes to become the best in their field. All the raw materials that are used to manufacture Joma's sports products go through strict quality controls to ensure that all Joma's finished goods comply with the high quality requirements of the ISO 9001 European Quality Test. Only the best of the leathers and synthetic fabrics are used to manufacture Joma's footwear. Machinery of high precision cuts the fabrics, and they become the basic elements of the footwear's manufacturing process. The pieces are stored by sizes. To work with. Later, a foam rubber is applied to make the boot more comfortable. And lastly, the leather or synthetic fabric pieces are stitched to the lining and the foam using a very resistant thread. As a result of this assembly process, the upper is formed. The upper is molded through a heat and cool down process to give the upper a specific hardness required by the sport for which the footwear will be used. A heel stiffener is also included in this process. Once the heel stiffener is solidly attached to the upper, we can proceed to the boot's assembly. The mold where the boot will be assembled is different for each sport. Then the palmilla is put in place. This piece gives a foot form to the upper. The sole plate and the wedge are together included in the mold. In the first phase, the front and back of the upper are shut by very resistant and fabric-specific glue. Once the upper gets its round form, the upper and the sole plate are assembled. The upper is scraped off to improve the kicking surface and to make the union between the upper and the sole plate stronger. The glue is spread on both surfaces and put aside to let the glue settle. Once we have an even glued surface, we heat the glue to increase its sticking property. Finally, both parts are glued together with special holding machinery for a perfect finish. The assembly process is finished, and we have as a result a perfectly defined boot. Then we stitch the upper and the sole plate with very resistant thread for a better lasting capacity. Highly qualified staff check all the finished footwear and the boot gets its final touch. Extra thread is cut, any possible defect is fixed, etc. They are now ready to go on sale. One by one, each boot is placed into its box. The final quality control takes place during this process. Thanks to all the quality filters that a boot goes through its assembly, the possibility of faulty footwear is almost non-existent. All the finished footwear is stored with a barcode that allows us to know where the boot is located at any time. Thanks to a computerized logistics system, Joma can handle hundreds of different purchases simultaneously. Each boot goes through an infrared logistic control. Therefore, we can be aware of all the boot's movements anytime a pair of boots goes in or out of Joma's warehouse. Thanks to this complex logistics system, Joma can compete within the international market and reach more and more countries. Elite athletes deserve the best sportswear to be able to compete, to be able to make the difference, to be able to make their dreams come true. They need Joma.